Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. Each week, my guest and I discuss one pivotal moment in their life, what they learned from it, and their words of wisdom. Our guest built a career she loved, working freelance across entertainment, sports, and news media. Then the pandemic arrived, and like so many in her industry, everything went quiet overnight. So she did what felt natural. She went into hyperdrive. Lots of calls, emails, more and more outreach, chasing every opportunity, knocking on every door, and every rejection hit harder than the last. So she made a decision that went against every instinct and every piece of advice she had ever been given. She stopped. She calls it the anti-pivot. Less hustle, less noise, less chasing, and instead, more focus on the pause. What she found in that stillness is still unfolding. This is a conversation about the courage it takes to sit with uncertainty and what opens up when you choose stillness over hustle. Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. I am so grateful that you are joining us here today. Please join me in welcoming today's guest, Gina Phillips. Hello. So Gina is a host, a producer, a writer, an actor, and you can hear her on CBC News radio program called The World This Hour. Mm-hmm. So welcome.
Thanks for having me.
That is definitely a portfolio resume right there. And I only sort of skimmed the surface, but I know we'll get into more today.
Oh my gosh. I've just collected things over time.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. And you and I originally met because you were writing for Score Golf.
That's
and
right.
I know you were doing Score Golf TV at that point, which for those who don't know is in the golf world.
Yes.
And so, once again, there's very few women in the golf world and we very quickly connect.
It's so true. I was like, I spotted you right away. I was like, oh my God, she's a woman. She's in a high powered position. I need to know who she is.
Let's connect.
Yeah, let's connect. Exactly. Yes. It's important that we stick together. I agree.
I agree. Mm-hmm. So this podcast is all based on one question, which is what is one pivotal moment in your life? And the reason that's the question is it is very universal. We all go through multiple pivots, some of which we control and are our choice, and some pivots are imposed on us. And having gone through lots of pivots myself, learned along the way that there is always a story. There's a human element to how everybody decides to manage that pivot. So I wanted to create this platform for people to come and tell their stories so that the audience can hear inspiring stories of resilience, of courage, of understanding, of learning, and meet amazing people like yourself.
Well, Leslie, I have to say this question really stressed me out.
Okay, cool.
And let me preface this by saying I am like a fly by the seat of my pants, can talk to anybody, loves a random conversation, can dig deep on the fly. Right. So you give me this question and it's just like a sticking point in my head for weeks leading up to this podcast.
That's so good.
And when something is like causing tension, and now I know it's time to kind of dig in and think like, why did that kind of trigger me in a way? So I was like, okay, pivot. Why? Like, what is it about that word? What is it about this having to think of one moment specifically in my life?
Yes.
And I realized, okay, first off, what if I'm pivoting, I'm in the process of pivoting as we speak in a certain way.
Right.
And so it freaked me out to have to narrate it while I'm inside of it.
So you're in the depths of it.
I think I am. And I think it's coming from actually an anti-pivot. It's me digging in and staying the course.
Okay.
At a time when maybe it looked like I should pivot, I actually didn't and decided not to. Okay. And I am learning how to find my inner strength instead of changing my external environment and pivoting like I have so many times And what happens instead when I just kind of stop trying as hard and let the external stuff happen. Like, it's like giving up control a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm here to talk about the anti-pivot.
Okay, so absolutely, I am all here for that.
I knew you would
so
be.
Good. All right, so talk to me about the anti-pivot. What is it? And
yeah, I think, from years of being an actor, you face a lot of, it's 95% you're not good enough. We're not choosing you, right? So it's a lot of disappointment.
Yes.
As a freelance host, you get some jobs dropping off, and there are some jobs that rise to the surface. And I've dibbled and dabbled and pivoted and put my energy in many different places. And after the pandemic, they kind of all went away all at once.
Ouch.
Yeah. And they're just like these small actions that happened that I felt like I was left with nothing at all.
Ooh.
And I know a lot of people felt that during the pandemic. And certainly a lot of people experienced far worse trauma than what I'm about to talk about. But this is about like the little external no's that we get all the time. And my go-to was to always then pick up a different career or go in a different direction, or like I always stayed in the storytelling realm, but to spend my days, maybe I'll email this person who I talked to once at that event. I'm going to, and it was a hustling when I had nothing to try to scramble to find something.
Yes.
And my friends with kids or my busier friends were like, this is so great. You have all this time. How amazing. You've got all this time. And I'm like, then why am I so desperate feeling?
Yes.
I would this time would be incredible if I didn't kind of feel this desperation that I do, because when things are kind of pulled away from you, like you have two choices. You can either go, it's okay. Or you can go like, what? Oh my God, I'm freaking out.
Full panic.
Full panic. Yeah. And I even tried to pivot in terms of, this is getting pretty personal, but trying to have a kid. I was like, maybe this is the time, to get pregnant, all that. And that didn't work either.
Okay.
So what happens when things are just at a complete standstill? How much do you seek to control still? Or do you like lean into open space and just see what happens? So what I did is I just started sitting in silence and like getting real quiet and not letting myself email and not letting myself apply for more jobs, and just kind of, I don't know, see if I could find open space in the jumble in my head. And so I really got into meditation.
Okay.
I found an intuitive guide, a really intuitive, amazing person named Alicia Wood. And she taught me to lean into my intuition more, I started playing music more. Like I was really into piano and I learned the drums. So that was kind of an interesting thing that came out of it. But I'm only now realizing like that might've been the biggest shift in my life. And it looked like nothing. And now as I get busier, things are coming to me.
Yes. And
there's a flow, there's a momentum. And that's all I really wanted was a momentum instead of feeling like I needed to claw my way through things.
Right.
And now there's a momentum and it feels entirely different. And people around me are like, well, you're still hustling. You're still doing all these things. And I'm like, no, it's a very different feeling.
Okay.
I feel really like 2 feet on the ground now.
Okay.
So that's the shift I'm going through.
That's a big shift.
It is.
It's interesting, eh? Sitting in the silence. It's
weird.
It's totally not what we're told to do by whoever they are, but with the system.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I was so used to hustling that I realized the distraction that happens out of that with our phones, of course.
Yes,
but
definitely.
Also the like, I have a positive mindset generally. So the positive thing for me to do is go, oh, this isn't working. I'm going to go over here. Oh, this isn't working. I'm going to go over here. Yeah. This like go nonstopness.
Okay.
And what happens when you actually stop is like you get to know yourself a bit better.
Yeah. Really interesting.
Have you ever done that?
Although like scary.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. So when I left corporate over a year ago, everyone's like, oh, you can take the summer off.
Right.
You can enjoy your time. I was like, so I'm going to go to Portugal for 2 weeks. I'm coming back. I'm hitting the ground running, and I am going to figure stuff out. Yeah. And that's all I did. It was just those 2 weeks, and the wheels were constantly turning, but at least I was like drinking good wine. And,
oh my God.
Like,
exactly.
Scenery.
Eating good food.
Like, hello. It was fantastic. And then it was like the hustle culture takes over.
Well, exactly. Right. Yeah. You're like, I know how to do this. I'm going to apply everything I've ever learned, and I'm going to get up at 7 a.m. and I'm going to start, and I'm going to work till 7 p.m. And then I'm going to think about what I'm going to do the next day.
Correct.
And,
Yes. And it's all consuming. And then as the year went on, I got to a point where I was everywhere and nowhere. Right?
That's exactly how I felt.
That's exactly right. So as I said at the beginning, you've got all these parts of your ability and parts of your career that you're so multi-talented across all of these different realms that there's a lot you can do. And so to develop those, you'd be pivoting your entire career.
Constantly. Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so then for me, it came to the end of the year, and it was, okay, well, I need to cull the herd. Like I need to reduce, not because I want to do less. I just want to be more deliberate in what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And there's a calmness that I found came with that. It's also, I'm a bit of a high achiever, so there's always the panic.
Of course. Of course.
So since you're in it, tell me how.
Oh my gosh.
How are you figuring that out?
Well, I don't know. Like it is less panicky.
Yes.
What I kind of realized was like I miss being around people. And the structure I had built for myself as a freelancer was me reaching out to companies and being on the outside of these companies.
Oh, I see. Okay.
As an actor, you're self-taping at home now. You used to have a community as an actor. You'd go to auditions, but you don't see those people until you're on set. And then maybe you're just on set for a few days and then you're kicked back out again.
Okay.
So when I got quiet, I realized like, oh, people matter to me. And I want to be in a building with people. Okay. Like regularly.
Yes.
And that was such a weird thing because like I'm not looking to work full time. I'm not like I liked all the pockets I was filling, but I was like, how do I get into a building?
Yes. Right.
And it was so weird because when I had an opportunity with CBC Radio, I was like, oh my God, cool. I get to go into the building.
Yes.
Oh, I get to see these people again.
Right.
And although like I didn't know where I was going with it at that time, it was checking off this like kind of weird feeling I was having just from being on the outside.
Right.
And so once I got inside, I was in the best freaking mood ever. Right. I was around people. I'm an extrovert.
Yes.
It was filling this cup that I don't think I would have recognized otherwise.
Right.
Because I would have been focusing on the jobs that I was getting.
Yes.
Separately.
Yes.
Instead of like, oh, every day I get to see some same people.
Okay.
So simple.
That's so simple.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because people in corporate are the opposite. They're like, oh,
exactly.
Do I really have to go in every day?
Do I have to see these same people?
Like really?
I know.
Can we switch this up?
It's so true. And I do look around and I see everyone coming into the building, but they're going through their own grind, which is being in that same damn building, like, and I, as a freelancer in that space, get to control the amount that I'm there to some degree. And I have full energy when I'm in the building.
Yes. Okay.
Which is, you don't get that when you're in a corporate environment.
No, you don't.
So I'm like, how do I keep on this frequency?
Yeah. This is a good frequency.
It's a good frequency. Yeah.
So take us back to the things that you were working in before things got really quiet.
Yeah. So I was working on the golf show for Score Golf.
Yeah.
Which was great. I got to travel around. I got to interview athletes and people in the golf industry. Yes. write about golf. I never had planned to work in golf. I'm a sporty person, sporty gal, but I wasn't in golf in that way at all. But I remember when I saw the job posting, actually a friend sent it to me, and I was like, what, a golf host? I kind of like checked off all the boxes except for like I hadn't worked in golf and I didn't know if I would be any good at talking. But then I had enough confidence to be like, well, whatever.
I can talk to athletes. We're good.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Right. And so when I got the job, I was like, oh, so cool. Like more proof that you shouldn't decide in advance.
Agreed.
That you're not a good fit for something. It's not up to you to decide if you're a good fit for something. Yeah. Right? Like go after what you want. It'll decide for you at some point.
Exactly. In essence, exactly.
So that was really great. But I mean, the show got canceled during the pandemic.
Yes.
And we were living in a really small condo in Toronto. And I had been traveling all the time. I also did other freelance jobs. But suddenly we were home, you know, in this like 600 square foot condo. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't work anymore. Oh, no. And then the landlord wanted to sell the condo. So we had people like, we had showings during the pandemic, like masks on in our own home, like spraying everyone with hand sanitizer. Yeah. And so at that point, we decided to go to Calgary where my family is. Okay. And just see what happens if we leave the city, right? But it was really hard to leave Toronto because I felt like I was exiting out of a life. Well, I was exiting out of a life that I knew and had built. And went to Calgary thinking there's no way there's going to be any acting here. Right. There's no, like, I've just got to put everything on hold, but at least I'll be around family. Yes. And then The Last of Us happened to be filming there, this huge HBO show, and another one, Guilty Party. And I ended up getting on those shows in my hometown. So good. Which was why, and my mom's just like, see, proof that you should stay here. Like, more proof that you should stay here. And that was such a special experience. But I was anxious the entire time because I was thinking, I got to get back to Toronto. I got to get back to, like, these jobs are good, but I need to be back where my network is. You know, I need to be back in it. But when we came back, within 6 months. Oh, okay. So I tried to pivot. I tried to start with a media company and work full time. Okay. This is my full-time story. That opportunity really collapsed. So I was basically part of a company. I'm not going to name it, but I had a fraudulent contract. So they said, come back here. This is what we're offering you. But the rest of the company didn't know about this contract. So this guy that had hired me, it was insane. I will write about it one day.
Yes, absolutely.
So basically, I start with this company. It's going really weird. Stuff is up, and I'm just like, my tingly senses are like, I need to get the heck out of here.
Yeah, something's not right.
Something's not right. Then I realized my contract has not even been seen by some of the executives that are actually in charge. And I'm like, oh, this all makes sense now. And then my partner got laid off from his job during the Bell layoffs. Oh, boy. And then our place flooded. And suddenly we were like, you're like, oh, my God. Whose idea was it to come back to this godforsaken city? What are we doing? Yes. Everything's shit. Yes. Let's continue to try for a kid because maybe this is a signal. Yes. Right? This is like my brain going, okay, you know what? I'm going to take cues from the universe here. And that really also went awry and was not working and was such a confidence downer, just in terms of like agency over your own life. You're like, oh, I don't even know if I can make anything happen. Oh boy. This is like bad, you know? And
it's not super personal as opposed to professional, right?
Well,
you can handle the professional. But...
Exactly. I've pivoted 1,000 times. But then, you know, personally, I was like, ooh, this is kind of hitting in a different way. Yes. And so I really had to stop trying at everything, like entirely. Like that kind of became my new thing. And I just was like, what do I have currently? Because my life is really great. I'm not here to say like I'm disadvantaged. Like I am in a very privileged position. I mean, during the pandemic, I went back to live with my family. How many people can just do that? Like we hiked and golfed and skied for a year and a half. Like
that's not a bad deal. It's pretty good.
Things were pretty good. Yes. Did I recognize them as that good at the time? I don't know if I did. I was thinking about all these other things. Yes. But yeah, so I thought, what happens when you stop trying so hard? And I realized, since I was 17, 18.
Yeah.
I started working in TV when I was really young. I showed up at a TV station and I just went, I'm ready to work. Like, I want to volunteer until you hire me.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. But like, oh my God, how do I recapture that momentum that I once had if there's none? So, but I knew like I've always loved playing music, and I have a great partner. We got married, which was interesting.
Okay,
we
good.
wouldn't have done that otherwise.
Right.
We'd been together for about 10 years, and I was like, we should celebrate with like a big party.
Right.
So focusing back on what I did have, like really right in front of me, and lean into that and stop worrying about all
the other stuff. Okay.
Easier said than done.
No kidding. No kidding. But you have experience in TV, in radio, acting, writing, music.
Yeah.
You do improv,
I do, yes.
So, I mean, your tool chest is pretty extensive.
It's jam-packed. And it still had nowhere to go.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Which is very weird.
Well, because I kept going, oh, well, I can make this work because of all these tools that I have in my tool belt. But the like, I will make this work hustle was just so, I don't know. I was taking the no's harder than I've taken them before. And I was kind of, I don't know. It is good to have a lot of tools in your tool belt, but it can also be confusing.
Yes, very much.
Right?
Yeah.
Do I reach out to Leslie Hawkins, or do I reach out to that producer on that film set that I met? Like,
right.
What is the best move?
Exactly.
Who is actually there for you, or is the right path to go down?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's hard. And so you said, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
We're going to sit in the silence.
I'm going to sit in silence.
Okay. How do you do that?
Let's
try. Is there a to-do list? How do we do that?
Well, I thought the worst thing that has come out of this is that my brain can't slow down.
Yeah.
Right? I'm thinking about missed opportunities, about potential opportunities, what I should do now to help myself in the future all the time. So I focused on getting my focus back. So I put myself through what I called brain school, and I actually sat. I thought of meditation as a brain thing instead of a spiritual thing.
Okay.
I got into the spiritual stuff, but I'd say being able to sit, focus on your breathing. It's not that you're focusing on nothing. You actually are really learning to focus on one thing.
Okay.
And so the practice of focusing on just my breathing, whether there's music or not. So what is like, can you just do that?
That's so hard.
It is. It made me mentally really resilient.
Okay.
I would say now on live radio, when I mess up or when I am seconds to air and everything's scrambly and it's really chaotic, I can go like tunnel vision.
Yes.
So effectively. And that is not something I was able to do before.
That's impressive. I have to admit, I have tried meditation.
Yep.
And I keep thinking, I got to get back on that train. But I have so many squirrel moments.
Yeah.
And, I would do it through an app.
Yeah.
And this nice calming voice would say, okay, deep breath, focus on your breathing, blah, blah, blah. And then, okay, and we're going to do this for 30 seconds. I was like, I got 45 ideas floating in my head over 30 seconds. What do you mean? We're just going to focus.
Yeah.
So hard to do. It's a discipline.
It is. I think it's in the discipline and the practice. You're not going to be good at it. So it's letting go of that for high achievers.
Okay.
You're not going to be good at it.
No.
But it's not about that.
Okay.
It's about seeing what happens.
Yes.
Which I will say, as an improviser, that seeing what happens is like where my heart lives.
Okay.
So I could latch on to that idea of it, and maybe that's how you could approach it.
Okay.
You love seeing what happens, right?
Yeah, totally.
With this conversation.
Yes.
So can I sit and just see what happens and not have the expectation of like a certain outcome?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sharpening my focus was my first goal because I was tired of the squirrel moments getting me down ultimately, because if you squirrel and then things don't happen, or you squirrel and you're exhausted by the end of the day, you just feel depleted.
Yes.
There's swirling up where you're like,
totally.
Bing, bang, boom, I'm feeling amazing. And then there's swirling that is very anxious driven.
Yes. Yeah. And it's, I find it's easy to recognize those squirrel moments where it's out of desperation or panic.
Yes.
Right? Of, need to pay the bills. Whew. Got to figure this out fast. Right? And so in that, as you then focused in your mind, like what were you doing during the days? Were you still sending out emails? Were you still making phone calls, having lunches, networking? Were you doing all of that or not?
I was, but it didn't feel like I was.
Okay.
So it was not me waking up and going, okay, this is my whole day.
Yes.
It was like I would send that email at 4 p.m. out of actually wanting to and actually having a good idea.
Okay.
So it was a calmer.
Okay.
Calmer approach, perhaps. What the quiet moment did is tell me where to go next.
Okay.
So I would not say I could sit down and play piano when I was like really anxious about finding my next gig.
Okay.
But if you give yourself a quiet moment in between, if you come home and then like, okay, what am I doing next? What am I doing next?
Yes.
So if I'm in this energy, okay, give yourself a quiet moment. Oh, I open my eyes and I sit down on my piano and I actually am like focused and calm enough to start playing piano.
Yes.
Okay, from there, oh, you know what? I want to go for a walk. Again, this is a woman who has all the time in the world. I want to recognize that, because there are moms that are like, I wish I could do that, right?
Right.
But like, okay, I have been gifted this time. I'm going to now follow my instincts to like, okay, piano. Okay, then I'm going to go for a walk. Maybe on that walk, I got a really good idea and I knew to reach out to that person.
Yes.
Then I would email that person.
Okay.
But it didn't come from a place of
like, I need to. Yes. Okay.
So give me some clarity for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what did that clarity tell you?
It told me the thing about wanting to be around people.
Okay.
And that's what I was currently missing, that my job used to bring me all the time. And I also felt like quite an outsider as a freelancer.
Okay.
And that when I would get hired by companies, they could easily shoot me out if like their marketing budget was just different that year. And that I found that really hard, because I'm going, what do you mean? I've worked with these people consistently for years, and suddenly they have no need for me, and so I'm just kind of cast out. And I found that difficult. So I realized how attached I get to people, and I feel very loyal to these companies that I work for. So actually I need to build something that I can, or like foster an environment for myself where I feel connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where does the improv come in? Were you doing that before?
Yeah. So I started my improv when I first got into television. So this is like 15 years ago. I did all the things at Second City, all the levels at Second City.
Yes.
And I just loved it. You go on stage with no plan.
Right.
And you learn to trust that things will work out. Okay. So it's funny. I'm like realizing in this moment, I've like maybe applied those to my life now.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
But how do you trust yourself enough to stand up on that stage? I was always like a real attention kind of getting Leo energy kind of girl. So standing up on stage, not a problem, but like just seeing what happens next. And letting the scene take on a life of its own.
Yes.
And it really, I noticed it was strengthening my on camera time, like my ability to talk on camera as I'm like, blah, blah, blah. But also in acting as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you sit in that moment? I think it all comes back to like being really present.
Yes.
And so it was really serving my work life. So I kept it up, but I also fell for the Toronto improv community and I made some of my best friends there.
So good.
And when the pandemic happened, I mean, a lot of that stuff just stopped.
Yeah.
And then acting wise, there was a writer's strike. Things were just completely on hold in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say I still pull from those parts of my life in a big way. But they feel like a long time ago.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how long did you sit in the silence before things started to churn?
I would say a solid 6 months of
Wow.
Yeah, solid 6 months. And I would say I am only just climbing out of that now. So I would say like 2 years that now I can look back and go, wow, I made huge internal shifts.
You did.
And I feel like I'm only scratching the surface of my true potential, I would say. Because I feel different and things are starting to come to me.
Yes.
Instead of me going after them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really good sign. And I'm excited to see where that goes, as long as I can keep kind of returning to those quieter moments.
Yes.
And being more intentional about what I choose to do. I think I'm on a good path now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What's consuming your time now?
So I work at CBC like 3 to 4 times a week sort of thing. I'm really enjoying being back in news, which something I thought I would never say. So I started my career in broadcasting.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm back there. And honestly, if I hadn't sat in those moments and realized I really miss being part of a team, pulling off a show by the skin of our pants, live radio, this kind of live interaction, that's what lights me up. So it's interesting, like at the start of my career, I for sure had that. So how do I go back to the start of my career? Oh my God, I'm back in news. Like, didn't think that. But they also have me doing some sports sometimes. Okay. And I'm going more in that direction because score golf has, served me in the realm of sports.
Yes.
So I'm not sure where I will land there, but it's been amazing as a host, as a freelance host, to be able to drop into an environment with such talented journalists and just be ready to go. Yeah. Because I feel very on and
so good.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like just ready to kind of use these skills that I've been doing for so long, but apply it to a place that I really believe in. And
that's amazing.
And then acting wise, I always have it in my life. I've had it in my life since I was like 15 or something. Ooh. Maybe even before that, actually, because I did musical theater. So I've always had hosting and acting together. And the entertainment industry in Canada still is like difficult. And you do get a lot of no's. But the more yeses I get in my other areas of my life, I can handle the no's in acting. Yes. There's always going to be no's in acting. Yes. One really cool thing that I didn't expect to happen was a friend of mine shot an indie film in Almont, Ontario. And I was a big part of it. We filmed, it was a Christmas movie, but a spoof of a Christmas movie. So it was such a blast. It felt like summer camp. Yes. I kind of went back to why I became an actor in the first place. Again, to be around a team of people, to pull something off. Yes. And I think after the pandemic and during, everything got really siloed. So finding my people again in my different areas has been such a win. And so I need to follow the people. Yes. Yeah. Go where the people are. Go where the people are. Yeah. Where your people are. Where my people are. Yeah. Exactly. That's really good. Yeah. You're very creative. Oh. Which is amazing. Are you writing as well? I am. So another thing that happened was the more quiet my brain got, I started bursting with creative ideas, which sounds like you do when you're quiet as well.
Yes.
And I was able to actually sit down and write. Before, when I was sitting in front of my laptop, I would go, I should be emailing this person instead. I should be applying for this job that will actually get me somewhere instead. I should be outside, like just a lot of different pulls. And I was able to write my first TV pilot last year, which felt like a huge win.
Congratulations.
It's about golf.
That's amazing.
It's about women in golf.
Fantastic.
And I've been I've been trying to pitch that comedy pilot.
Yes.
So my creative projects have even taken on a life and have like a certain momentum to them. And I also trust now that I can sit down and write and complete something.
Okay.
And I think before I was a little too distracted to really follow through on that kind of thing.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that pilot getting picked up.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, note to self.
If there's anyone in the golf industry.
Yes, exactly. Yes, always are.
Always.
That's great. And so I'm curious on what is it like to host a live news update.
Yeah.
When the news is changing so quickly and so much has happened or is happening. What's that like?
It's really hard actually because we're doing hourly news updates, so things can change by the hour.
Yes.
You can build a whole newscast and with your team, and then right before Donald Trump says, actually, no. Right. What I said last hour is no longer accurate.
Right.
So it takes a lot of pivoting on the fly.
Yes.
And you basically have to, so it's a 5-minute newscast. You basically have to have other elements ready to go.
Yes.
So we wouldn't necessarily be running that story about the dog in Montreal.
Right.
Well, suddenly we've got to slide that one in because our plan has just completely fallen to pieces.
Okay.
So as a host, you have to be ready to cold read something.
Yes.
Constantly be ad-libbing, pivoting, but be really in news. You have to be so careful.
Yes.
Obviously facts really matter.
Yes.
And you don't, there's bias. You don't want to, you have to have a very balanced newscast as well. These are things that I don't think people realize how hard most journalists work. I will say most because there are some bad apples, certainly in the States, but how hard we work all day long to not be biased, to be balanced, to, mistakes that are made or headlines that are pushed out can sound, a certain way. But I think if you were to read and really look at all the different properties that are churned out by Canadian journalists and think of them from actually an unbiased perspective, you'd realize how many facts are jammed in there.
Right.
And how hard people have been working consistently to really get solid truth out there.
Yes.
And it's a difficult industry. I never thought I'd be back in news. I kind of thought news would take off in a different direction and we wouldn't need news as I learned it so long ago in broadcasting school. But I think we need it now more than ever. Yep. And I started to really believe in that again, and go, actually, we need these really boring news outlets. Not that CBC is boring. I'm just saying you need these kind of like old school, journalistic, traditional institutions.
Yes.
And if everything becomes a podcast or not saying this, but if we just lean on social media for news, we're really going to lose it.
We've lost the plot, I think.
So there was something about that I was like, deep down, I am a journalist. That's what I learned from the beginning, and I want to contribute again to that.
Yes. Well, and I think now more than ever, I think the biggest challenge in consuming the news is trying to figure out what's real and what's not.
I know.
And so it's about anchoring on the people who are delivering the news.
Yep.
Right? So anchoring on somebody like yourself, where you're like, they're trustworthy, they know what they're talking about, they're not showing their bias. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
And is so needed. I think being in media and being in politics right now must be the hardest jobs. Not that other jobs aren't difficult in that way, but it's trying to get to the truth and trying to discern what's real and what's not.
It's hard. And I don't think people realize how many rules there are for these traditional institutions that you have to abide by. So our whole job is trying to stay within these boundaries.
Yes.
And that's what makes the job time consuming and difficult with low resources and less money and less people working in news, fewer people working in news. But your whole job is to work within these rules.
Yes.
So when I hear people say, all news is BS, that kind of thing, then you're going, then what are we doing this for?
Yes.
All day long.
Exactly.
If we did just put something out on Instagram as me, Gina,
yes,
I wouldn't call that news.
No.
And people go, you should start your own thing. You should do this. You should do that. And you're going, well, you're not respecting what journalism actually is. If you're truly trying to do journalism, it's going to be really hard. You're going to need people and resources, and so it's hard to look at a solo person and going, yeah, they're doing it properly, because it's not easy to do properly.
No, not at all. And you need the team around you.
You really need the team.
And I have to imagine you need eyes and ears on the ground kind of everywhere.
Yes, which is why working for CBC is actually incredible, because you have people in bureaus all around the world.
Yes.
And they're the eyes and the ears on the ground, talking to the people, really sussing out the situation, talking to their sources. And again, like that, it's not easy to pull off a story about the Middle East. It should be really difficult, and it is. And then you have politicians, flying by the seat of their pants and saying a lot of different things. So you're trying to keep up, and you're trying to keep up in a way that is really responsible. But yeah, some incredible journalists out there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Full respect to them. I mean, I'm just in my cushy radio studio and I'm just, I'm like looking at, some of these incredible journalists on the ground in bombed out places.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing what they're doing. It takes this whole team to pull it off.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So as you've gone through the anti-pivot, which by the way, I love, and you continue to go through it, what have you learned about yourself the most? What would be like that one salient thing that maybe you didn't recognize at the beginning?
I think I realized that if you stop pushing, things can come to you. And maybe that's the biggest nod of where you should go next.
Yeah.
So having the guts to not push.
Yes.
And having a sense of trust that maybe you've done enough that you can stop and just see what happens next, see what comes to you.
Exactly. Okay. That's really good. All right. That's inspiring. So my last question for you is, what would be your words of wisdom for the audience, for those who probably need to find some silence and find some focus? Because there's a lot of us out there.
I know. We're so distracted by our devices.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We've got a lot of loud people everywhere telling us different things, telling us what we should do, what we shouldn't do.
Yes.
My biggest fear in this podcast is that people would watch and go, oh, she's just talking about meditation. That's last thing people want to hear, right? Is go meditate.
No, yes.
But what does it really mean? So it means stop scrambling.
Right.
Trust and be in that moment. And the thing they say in meditation is to focus on your breathing, because that actually gives your brain something to focus on. So it's not that you're thinking about nothing. That's impossible.
Correct.
That's a lot of pressure also.
Yes.
So can you get into your body? Can you truly sit with how you feel? And just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
And there is some power in the silence.
There is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be really colorful. It's not that it's nothing. It can be colorful and creative. And I mean, I was in drama school alongside my broadcasting life in university, and we do some weird things in acting class. Some really weird things. We do humming, we make weird noises, we have to do weird things with our bodies. So it's not a stretch for me that I know how to get a bit weird.
Okay.
So for those, maybe it's like for those people who don't know how to meditate or they're scared of that, take an improv class.
Right.
Do an acting class. Do things where you are having to be really present.
Yes.
And put yourself in that environment with people who are not judging you.
No.
And it's like, that's part of the game. That's what improv is. That's what acting is being in that moment and seeing what happens next and making discoveries.
Yes. And being truly present with yourself.
Yeah. Being truly present with yourself.
That's amazing. Well, thank you.
Thank
welcome. You for talking about the anti-pivot. I love it. Definitely going to coin that term. But it's amazing to watch what you have done. And what has come out of your silence is an incredible portfolio. You have the talent. You've always had it. You're super creative. But now you're leaning into a portfolio life with meaning and purpose and focus. And I just love the energy.
Well, I'm going to steal that portfolio life thing.
There you go.
Because that is so good. I'm taking that. I'm putting that in my pocket.
Yes.
Well, thanks for creating an environment where I could narrate this for the first time. I mean, I told you I was scared, right? And I don't get scared easily. But when you're kind of in the middle of a transition, it's hard to know how to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you haven't had full perspective yet.
Agreed.
But you've helped me realize, there is some perspective there already.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
Glad I made you uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, it's probably good for me.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Leslie.
Thank you for joining me today. Wow, that was a fun conversation. The anti-pivot is now made it into my dictionary. Gina is absolutely right that there is power in the pause, and yet it can be so hard to do with the world spinning so quickly around us these days. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone you care about, and be sure to subscribe so you can continue to hear more pivotal stories involving one question, one turning point, one powerful story. I'll see you next week with another guest on the Leslie Hawkins Podcast.